When it comes to guns and firearms, like I said, that we wouldn't even have firearms if this shit was fucking tyrannical, nigga. If America was a tyrannical system, like I'm talking about from the very beginning, I'm not talking about now, because right now we have everything that you could possibly want. We have guns, all types of stuff that other countries would not allow, all because they're scared. But here in America, we have a privilege, and it's in the Constitution. See what I'm saying? America, like I said, America could have been a tyrannical government where basically we wouldn't have no freedoms. We would have just had been under some type of motherfucking system. We wouldn't even have a say-so. You see what I mean? So like I said, this is important. I need you guys to understand that. We have guns for a reason. Not just one for yes. One is to obviously protect your home, protect yourself, right? The other is to combat the government if they ever choose to inflict or cause destruction or panic on citizens. A tyrannical government. Now, I obviously understand a lot of y'all have a lot of different opinions on Trump. I understand. I get that. Some people might say Trump is tyrannical. Others might say he's not tyrannical. It's all, it's all conflicting ideals and, stuff here. So this is why I said y'all need somebody like me to step in. Because if we don't even have at least one sensible person. Look, outside of all these other politicians and so-called government officials, because these are all just titles, between me and Trump, I'm the most sensible person inside the room. I know what's going on. You can't say I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. Look on the news. You see everything happening on the news. You see how everything's happening. Putin and Trump just had a meeting today. Okay? I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anything happened. I don't think anything happened. I don't think anything's going to change. Okay? Donald Trump's face during that whole, thing, looked like to me that nothing got done. All right, because he has to go and wait for so and so. He gotta go wait for Putin to go do this at the third. Gotta go talk to Zelensky. No, bruh. Why are we doing all this? America should be the number one making this shit happen. Trump is making this shit look bad. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay? There's no reason why shit should not be not getting done. Meaning everything should be getting done. No delays. Like I said, like I said, it just looks bad. It looks bad for us as America. Number one, supposedly, America is the number one nation. We're supposed to literally look good on the world stage, but we're not looking good on the world stage. I don't even think the other nations take us seriously. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the nations take us seriously. Just look at just look at what's going on. Are you going to tell me that other countries have respect for us as of now? And with Trump making all these threats, that doesn't make people want to negotiate with you just because of whatever. Okay? Nobody wants to work with the asshole at the table. All right? And just because you have weapons and guns does not mean that's going to get you what you want. If anything, you're going to make things worse. Okay? Trump is a businessman. All right? I don't think he really understands the rule of war and the guns and shit. All right, I don't think he's that type of person. I think he's more of just a money person because he likes business. All right, so I understand him with the negotiations, but if he's talking negotiations, if he's this big billionaire, then he should already know how this shit works. He should be getting the good deal. You see what I'm saying? He should be making the good deal. He should be getting the most out of it. That's how I see it. If Trump is literally this businessman, all right, I'm just being honest. Now, obviously, international world business is different from commercial business because Trump is in commercial business. All right, he's not like, I mean, he's in world international business as well, but that's a whole different mindset. And I don't think he has that. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I don't think he really has that mentality of like okay, like we have to get this shit done. Now, am I saying that he's not doing a good job in some areas, in some places? No, I'm not saying that. I think he's doing a good job so far. You see what I'm saying? I obviously, with the whole deployment of National Guard and federal agents, you know, obviously, like I said, the rules still apply. Nothing changes just because it's federal government. And if anything, I still think the police should still be outside, helping out too. Why are we getting rid of local police for? You see what I'm saying? I understand the people's concern about this federalization shit. Okay, for one, like I said, for y'all that live in Washington D.C. in the District of Columbia, y'all have to understand that's literally where the federal government is organized. Okay, it's where all the government buildings is at. So you feel me? Trust me, there's Secret Service over there. There's people over there that are dressed just like you, and they have police badges, and you feel me? They drive around in unmarked cars, and they're police agents. You see what I'm saying? Hold on. All right, so I'm back, y'all. So, like I'm saying, nothing changes. People should, like I said, y'all in DC, keep it cool. For all my street niggas, street cats, whatever fuck y'all do, don't get in trouble, bro. You know what I'm saying? For all the, look, and like I said, this is for all the big brothers. The big brothers, I'm talking to the big brothers of the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I don't care whether you're a gang leader or if you're the head of the group, I'm talking to you. If you're the first commander of the neighborhood, I'm talking to you. Keep your boys under control. Alright? Because like I said, I understand, you know, everybody has operation, but this is not the time to be going after ops. You see what I'm saying? Not when the federal government's outside. Alright? They walking around, they doing patrols, and like I said, they really just looking for criminals. You see what I'm saying? And criminals are made every day. All right. So, no, and like obviously, in my opinion, I don't know how the federal government is going to catch criminals when the criminals know they're going to be outside. So really, this comes down to the more hardcore criminals in the sense that, because like I said, I don't really anticipate or think that black people in particular are going to fight the police. I don't see that as a possibility or like a a thing happening. You see what I'm saying? That's, you know, attacking police and all that other shit. Because like I said, Americans, us, you see what I'm saying, for the most part, we respect the base foundation. You see what I'm saying? Some people might say they might dislike police or whatever. I at the end of the day, I think that's wrong, because every citizen knows that the police is a asset to the community. If you have a PO officer, or if you have an officer that you know in your neighborhood that you're cool with, why would you want to fight an officer that you potentially know, or someone that you knew way back? Or let's say if you're a youth, you see what I'm saying, a young child, and you see what I'm saying, and there's a police officer in your neighborhood that patrols your neighborhood every single day, and you know him. You see what I'm saying? And you're cool with him. You're cool with him and maybe some other officers that be roaming around just your neighborhood, right? Y'all not out there looking for trouble. You know who these people are. You see what I'm saying? So, and like I said, it's always good for police officers to interact with the community. That's what has to happen. That needs to happen. You see what I'm saying? Because at this point, it's about building trust, a foundation. Now, at the end of the day, the police officers still have a job to do. You know what I'm saying? Just like how, you know, it's a job. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has a job. Whether you're a street nigga outside hustling rocks, or selling your grams, or whatever fuck you got going on, it's a hustle. It's a job. The police officers still have to bust ass and catch criminals. You see what I'm saying? That's their job. They can't let it go unchecked, right? This makes sense. If you're a security guard, well, you're not just gonna let somebody break into a shop. You see what I'm saying? No, you can't let that happen. You're a security guard for a reason. Why did we hire you if you're not gonna do the job? Right? Facts. So that's why I think police officers need to get affiliated with the community. Like I said, building trust, building a foundation so that people aren't, you know, concerned, you know? Because with all this stuff happening, people are going to naturally be, you know, in a hyper state, you know, and especially uneducated people that probably don't watch the news or don't know history or how the whole government works anyway. They're going to already be in a heightened state, and then they're going to be getting information from other uneducated people that don't know what they're talking about. And like I said, y'all don't want that to happen. You don't want to get information from somebody that's not educated on this particular topic, right? And like I said, I'm telling y'all firsthand, because when that starts happening, then bad shit starts to happen, because then you have people saying one thing that's not true about the police that's doing their basic duty and job, and like I said, it's not good for the community. All right. So like I said, when somebody like me hops on the scene, I'm sensible. You see what I'm saying? I'm not sensible, and I'm not being you know, hard to work with. I'm not, you feel me? I'm not, told you I'm easy, I'm chill. I don't be doing a whole bunch. If I'm a police officer, bro, if I'm working for the police, bro, you feel me, and I'm protecting my community, bro, I'm gonna get to know everybody in the community. You know what I'm saying? All the kids, everybody outside, bro. Because like I said, I want to build that foundation. You know what I'm saying? And I think the police in other neighborhoods should be doing the same. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You know? Now, obviously, like I said, there's hardcore criminals out there that don't care. You know, and unfortunately, because they don't care, that's already a consequence. So they don't care about their actions and what their actions can impose on them.